Welcome back, Learn to Crypto community. Today I'm providing a beginner guide for you that I feel will keep things simple, but get you started in the cryptocurrency world. For me, the journey has been up and down, learning where to go and what to do as this has all been evolving. I think that now that things are starting to settle in more with respect to exchanges, NFTs, the metaverse space, and regulations slowly coming in, it's easier to have a more enjoyable experience when it comes to the cryptocurrency learning curve. Just a disclaimer that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and all the opinions here are for entertainment purposes and are based off my own research. Always do your own research and consult a financial advisor before investing your money. In today's video, I'm going to be covering what is cryptocurrency, how to trade cryptocurrency, what exchanges to use, and what to look out for. So let's get right into it. What is cryptocurrency? So cryptocurrency, it's a digital form of currency where transactions are conducted, verified, tracked, and maintained by a decentralized system using what's called cryptography. Most cryptocurrencies work off of a blockchain, which is a distributed ledger that's communally enforced by whoever is validating the transactions. So the two most popular blockchain models are peer-to-peer, which is people working nodes from their computers and validating the transactions, or smart contracts, which are predetermined programs that do the validating. Sound complicated? Oh yeah, it's insanely complicated. And actually, the further down the rabbit hole you go, the more there is. Time and time again, I've attempted to learn more and more, and it really doesn't end. There are new methods coming out, new coins coming out all the time, so it's constantly evolving and changing. So what do you need to know? In my opinion, don't worry as much about the specific types of networks, but more so focus on who's behind the coin, what the plans are for it, and the resources the coin has to make that happen. All of this I'm about to cover though, so don't worry. So how do you trade cryptocurrency? This is the easiest answer to provide you today. To trade, you just need to find a good exchange, link up your bank account to the exchange, transfer in your money, and then you will use that to trade crypto, which is pretty similar to buying or selling stocks. Every exchange has different coins, requirements, security, and fees. So make sure that you check all that out before starting to trade. The next major item on the list is which exchange to use. In some of my videos, I talk about Binance.com and Binance.us, as well as Coinbase being the great go-to crypto exchanges to start off with, but it's important you choose a good exchange that you can grow with and has the capacity to give you what you need for the future. For example, Binance and Coinbase are great exchanges for trading the more popular coins and for having easy to use software for beginners, which is what I would recommend if you're starting out. They are not, although, great at providing availability to new startup coins or what people call quote unquote altcoins. And if you're in the market for a new coin and it's coming out, don't expect Binance or Coinbase to have it on their exchange because they're a bit more timid and safe when it comes to who's being traded on their platform. With choosing which exchange to use, I look at a few different items, which are volume, liquidity, number of markets, number of coins, and what fiat currencies are supported. I like to know that when I trade a coin, it will be quickly transacted and not take a long time. And for that, you need good volume and liquidity in the exchange. The number of markets and coins, of course, are kind of secondary because I will follow with what the exchange provides. But I really make sure I can move the USD in and out easily. For me, Binance and Coinbase really give me peace of mind on that front. Kraken and FTX are quickly gaining quite a lot of traction in the US, but they're not in the top two for me. I have a video breakdown of this if you'd like to check that out after this video. If you have a few moments also, I need to ask a huge favor, which is to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit that like button. I know I keep saying it and everyone else keeps saying it, and it's very annoying. But seriously, it helps so much and it makes this all worth it. Okay, so we know what cryptocurrency is. We've picked an exchange, and now what? The biggest item on today's video is what to look out for. There are a massive amount of scams. Government regulations are coming in more and more and globally. And at any given time, we've seen coins have backend situations where their transaction fees rocket or they have huge server problems. And if you were invested in those, you really lost big. Not all these situations were horror stories, but this video is to try and help you navigate away from having something bad happen to you. So let's go into my top 5 things to look out for. First major thing to focus on and look out for is security. Security is really important, and from my crypto scams video, some of the biggest scams you will find were actually due to lack of security. The other half of course is planned theft, but the majority of these quote unquote hackings were because people did not protect their account and security. So almost every major exchange has what's called KYC, or Know Your Customer Authentication. They partner this with 2FA, or two-factor authentication. KYC refers and requires you to fill out some documents and provide government ID, wait a period of time, and then your account will get usually manually approved to trade. This is especially enforced when you're transferring money from your bank account into the exchange. The 2FA helps prevent a hacker from stealing your password and just simply logging in. With this, every time you log in, you can get sent something like a text message or an email verification code to know it's you before your account's logged in. Many exchanges, including Gate.io, actually go heavier than this and force you to set up Google Authenticator app, which has a 30-second expiring passcode. You have to put in the exchange app in time for you just to even log in, on top of the 2FA of sending a text or an email. And of course, on top of that, putting in your actual password. I personally enjoy the Face ID portion of security because it's extremely hard to bypass, and it's very quick and of course painless. When setting up your security, it's important to set it up, write it down, store it somewhere safe. The more complex your password is, as well as your security questions or your phishing phrases are, the better chance of the hacker having a harder time to hack you. These hackers, for the most part, are typically not even people, but bots. There are more programmed bots that are trying to use your email with a variety of passwords based off of your social media profiles or where you live or who your family is, for example. Some other great tips and tricks from my research into security have been: don't use public Wi-Fi anywhere, which is a great tip. Utilize an antivirus software that has a good track record and is very reputable. So this would be if you're using your desktop and not the mobile app. And then don't store your password anywhere that's easily accessible. The second major thing to focus on is looking out for scams. Scams have been the talk of the town for cryptocurrency globally and have plagued the industry for quite some time. There are a lot of them that throw up a good quote unquote team and website to convince you that they're reputable and the coin is of course gonna go to the moon, but then years later you end up losing all your money. In my biggest crypto scams video that I recently released, I talked about AfriCrypt, BitConnect, and OneCoin, which have all done this on a very high scale. Together, they have scammed out over $20 billion, which is mind-boggling. It all really starts with quick success and momentum with great branding and hype. You really need to look into the brand or the company behind the coin, what its purpose is, and who's behind it. This will tell you quite a bit about the coin and its potential future. Of course, there are many altcoins with small development teams and big dreams that have made it and others that will make it, but we're looking to reduce our chances of being burned, so the bigger, the better, really. The last thing as a new crypto investor you should want to do is start off with some fart coin that has 3 people behind it, and then they do what's called a rug pull, which means they tank the price down to almost nothing after hyping it up and getting tens of thousands to dump their money into it. It's your money that they're really taking at the end of the day in that scenario. My best tip for avoiding scams is look for history, reputation, resources, goals. Yes, it will lead you to the more popular coins that may not have as much potential to explode 5.5 million% like Shiba did, but it can help start your journey on a more solid footing, hopefully. I hate tooting my own horn, but I actually did just release a video of my top picks for 2022, so be sure to go check that out. The third major thing to focus on is how much you're going to invest. There's a lot of dangerous situations where people get what's called FOMO, or fear of missing out, or they take out loans in order to invest. I would never suggest any of that as your first entry into cryptocurrency. It's a huge turnoff once again to get into debt and then get even more into debt if that crypto sinks. It's important to know what you got in the bank, what your cash flow is, and what you're easily able to afford to lose. It is very mundane and cliche, but when you start trading cryptocurrency, it's even easier to get caught up in the moment and pour all of your cash and start staring at the screen like it's going to change your life in the next 5 minutes. The truth is, the crypto markets are available to almost everyone globally, and somebody with $200 million can come in or pull out for whatever reason they want, and that can be your crypto story right there. In the event that you lose your disposable cash or investment, it's important to know what limits you have. For example, if you've picked a coin that you believe will succeed, well, just because it went down by 20% doesn't mean that for the next year or 2 or 3 that the coin can't rocket back up with the market and make you some great profit. So it's also good to position yourself not to sell in a losing position. I only typically sell in a losing position to utilize the tax harvesting laws for gains or losses, or if I truly believe the coin will continue to go down and I can pull out, wait a month or so, then get in at an even lower price before it starts to go back up. Once you've figured out how much you're going to invest and you're secured on a reputable exchange, then it's time to plan your entry and your exit. Fourth major thing to focus on is when do you buy in and when do you sell. Having an entry and exit plan is so important because you can easily get excited with crypto on the buying or selling side. It's great to create a rule of thumb for yourself on where to buy, when to sell. For example, if you plan to enter a coin after it dips down 15%, but then you never know when to sell, well, guess what? Yes, maybe that coin recovers the 15% again and then goes up an additional 5%, but maybe that coin was just doing a fake pump, and on a 1-week chart, the coin is actually still diving down long term. So you can quickly go from 20% profit to 0% and even be in the negative. I cannot come up with your own rule of thumb for you because everyone's finances are different, but what I would say is don't be greedy. Get some nice wins under your belt that are reasonable, make you feel good, and then take it from there. You're on your own journey and everyone's different, but nothing sucks more than starting off and losing most of it off the hop. Myself, I would take a 10% profit any day of the week because at this point, the market's really tough and 10% is great. When the market was booming, 10% was embarrassing, but times change quickly in crypto and it's nothing like the stock market. So if 10% sounds good to you, then there you have it. The fifth major thing to focus on is what coin or coins. So that is really actually all up to you. Once you've picked your exchange, secured your account, understand your investment amount, the entry, the exit in dollar value, then it's all about what coin or coins do you believe do that for you. CoinMarketCap.com has a great history of coin performances, and of course, make sure that the coin is available on the exchange that you're going to use. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB are some of the most notable coins that have longer histories and bigger investments into them or bigger market caps compared to the some odd 19,000 coins that are out there. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to 10x your investment, but they are there for a reason, and it's important you dig into why. I will end off today's episode by saying don't just focus on one coin either, as there's nothing wrong with investing in a few coins and seeing how they move and react to world events or the market itself. What I've learned is that the market seems to flow together for the most part, and you cannot really time certain announcements from certain coins to explode its value either. So I hope that you all enjoyed today's episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey community, thanks so much for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive a notification when a new video drops. Have a great day and keep on learning.